11 species. Blue is the last of her kind.
You'll never capture her.
We thought you might know someone who could help.
A rescue op? What could go wrong?
Hey, Blue.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the LuckyDog podcast. This is your host, Elias Rauch. Today with me is...
Kellie.
Hey! We got her back.
Yay.
How are you, Kellie?
Fantastic.
You been doing all right?
Doing all right.
It's
Been good. Just got back from the beach.
Oh, nice and tan and crispy.
Yeah.
Extra crispy.
Yes.
Extra crispy sauce. Oh, gosh.
Anyways.
It's good to have you back on the cast.
Damn right it is.
It's only been maybe a week or so, but still. Today we saw Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom, the second installment in the most recent Jurassic World's movies.
So the first one with Chris Pratt was just Jurassic World, right?
You got it, yeah.
And then this one was Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom.
Right.
Okay.
And they're picking up the pieces from, I believe, the first 4 Jurassic Worlds.
Okay.
Jurassic Parks. Sorry.
Okay. I was about to say I didn't see the first 4 Jurassic Worlds.
No. They're called Jurassic Parks.
Yeah.
Once it hit the 5th movie, it went to
Jurassic World,
I believe.
Gotcha.
And then this is the 6th.
I loved that one.
Okay, so all right, so we do have a basis to go off of. We both saw the first Jurassic World.
Yeah.
You saw Jurassic Park, the first one, right?
I think so. I haven't. I mean, it's been years.
Well, it's kind of praised as like the all-time great,
Can't top that one.
Yeah, it's the Star Wars of dinosaur movies.
Yeah.
It's the first time we've ever seen anything that large a scale,
Gotcha.
done with such big and practical effects.
Yeah.
And they still hold up good. I mean, if you've seen the movie even recently, Jurassic Park still works on every level. It's a masterpiece.
Yeah.
In many people's eyes. Jurassic World, what would you say? Would you say it's a masterpiece, or would you say
which
Jurassic World is the one with Chris Pratt?
the first one?
Yes.
I wouldn't call it a masterpiece.
Okay.
But I did like it. I think that was a movie that the kids liked. So pretty sure we watched it, not kidding, 5 times a day for a week, every day for a week.
Oh, really?
Like it was just in the DVD player, and we just kept hitting play every time we sat on the couch. It's just what we watched. We liked it though.
Okay.
I could watch it today. I could have watched it instead of what I watched. I would have been a lot happier.
Oh, do you think you okay? So, we are going to do a spoiler-free section starting out, and then go into a spoiler section. But yeah, I definitely do think this is a shift in tone and in theme for the Jurassic World franchise, I guess. I'm trying to differentiate them a little bit more from the park. But I think that the thing about this movie is that it's not repeating the same thing. We're not having to go to a park, we're not having to do all that. We're actually following a different storyline.
Yeah.
So the first movie, Jurassic World, was directed by Colin Trevorrow. This guy, he ended up being kind of a little bit crazy behind the set.
Yeah.
And then he went on to direct a terrible movie called The Book of Henry. Mm-hmm. Something about a pedophile and a boy, I don't know, becoming friends or something like that. It's like a weird ass movie.
Yeah.
So they were like, this guy's getting removed from the second Jurassic World. So that's why he didn't direct this one.
Gotcha.
But he did write it. He was on the script with him. So could you tell a difference in the two movies?
I could.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like the first one was as like the acting felt kind of cliche, I guess.
The first one did?
No, the second one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like, I don't know how to explain it like you do.
Stilted is what I say sometimes when I didn't feel that they were bringing their full emotion.
Yeah. I don't know. It just, the whole thing, it the acting felt kind of bad. The writing I didn't like the writing.
In Fallen Kingdom?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I loved the first one. Because it just seemed, the story just kind of went. Like it just kind of flowed.
Okay.
This one I didn't. Felt very choppy.
Okay.
I guess you could
With
say.
the pacing and editing a little bit as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely could tell that there's a serious tonal shift in this movie versus the second movie. The Jurassic World versus Fallen Kingdom. Mm-hmm. Jurassic World was much more of like a family-filled ride that you're kind of going along the normal pacing of a movie that you're introduced to a new place and you're kind of like you're searching the new creatures and stuff like that, you know. This was picking up the pieces of that, and what had happened at the end of that. It was picking up the pieces from Jurassic World. Fallen Kingdom brings world building, I think, that the first one didn't have necessarily, but in doing that, it kind of sacrifices the family dynamics.
Yeah.
I was not a big fan of Jurassic World, Jurassic World.
The first one?
Yeah, I thought that Chris Pratt's character was written kind of bad. And
That's how I felt for this one. I didn't feel that in the first one.
Okay.
I loved him in the first one.
Really? I felt like he was always kind of talking like, he was like, I'm the ranger, and, you know, you got to listen to the ranger, plus I'm a man, and you're a woman, and, you know, women can't drive kind of thing. And that's what it felt like the majority of the time. And he felt like he was talking down to Bryce Dallas Howard the majority of the first movie, Jurassic World.
Yeah.
This one, I felt like they were much more on a level playing field.
Yeah.
He wasn't quite talking down to her, I felt, as much.
No, yeah, I didn't think so. Not in this one.
They were on much more of an equal playing field of ideas. Like, no one was really in charge. They were both coming as a team. They were working as a team.
Yeah.
But in saying that, they were both dumb as fuck.
Yeah.
This is such a dumb premise.
Yeah.
Like, everything about it, I don't know what it is about Jurassic Parks ever since the first one, and maybe Jurassic World, but second, third, fourth Jurassic Parks, they didn't work that great, because going back to the park is not a good idea. It's never a good idea. It's dumb. Yeah, there's never a good idea except for maybe save the species, which is what this premise is going for.
I don't even see the practicality behind that.
Well, money. Money.
Okay.
So, I just didn't see. I didn't see. Well, let me rewind before we go too in depth with the stuff and the spoiler stuff. But yeah, essentially, this movie does take the pieces of Jurassic World and it runs with it. You know, it says the park failed. There's people on both sides of the spectrum that think that dinosaurs should live, and then some should just go extinct.
Yeah.
And there's fair arguments for both. I thought that the reasoning behind it, like, this movie had really good themes.
Yeah.
Just the thing was they weren't ever fleshed out to the fullest extent, you know?
Yeah.
Save the dinosaurs, then what? Was it take them to another secure another island where there's no tourists?
A safe island.
Yeah, so
the one thing I did agree with, if you're gonna save them, is they don't need our existence with where they're at.
Right.
I remember someone saying that. I don't know who.
Okay.
I don't mean to spoil it.
No, you're fine. No, you're not spoiling it. I think that this is a movie that can be spoiled, and we're kind of teetering way far from it because they don't even touch on it on the spoiler section.
Yeah.
So, like, the themes are so broad stroke, you know, save the dinosaurs, we gotta go save Blue, we just gotta get the characters back on this stupid island.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know. I just thought a lot of it was, in this movie, I thought it was just dumb.
Yeah.
They just acted dumb as shit.
Right.
About what they needed to be doing.
Okay, yeah.
Because her whole thing, like, when, I don't want to spoil it.
No. You're not spoiling it too much by saying that Bryce Dallas Howard does want to go. She's the one that's kind of recruiting the team, sort of going along.
Yeah.
She's the one bringing her cliche.
She's the one coaching everyone to go and, like, come help me save these animals.
Yeah, save the whales, save the animals, save the dinosaurs, that type of shit.
Yeah.
That type of bullshit. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, well, no, I don't want to say that. I generally think that, if you believe in saving a certain species, then, then go ahead for it, do whatever. But she didn't have any of that, like, thought out, really.
No.
And
there was no, like, why.
Yeah, there was definitely not really a why. I mean,
There was no why factor at all.
I mean, and then pulling Chris Pratt's ass back into this was so, like, hey, you looking for me? Like, it was so easy to get him back in the team.
Yeah.
And he was like, it's a bad idea, like, smiling, wink, 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 we're all going to go there.
Yeah.
Like,
it's well, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
But when are we going?
Yeah. I was like, what the hell? I was like, okay, so clearly this is gonna be an easy draw, just doing it. But so yeah, let's go through a couple more technical aspects of the movie before we go into spoilers.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, I think the themes, the writing is probably what's one of the weaker parts. The visual imagery that you see in this movie is, I think, much better than most of the Jurassic Parks.
Yeah, I thought so. There's
scenes that will stick with you.
Like, they will. They will stick with you. But to me, they were also kind of dumb.
I mean, the situation that we're in, if you could just remove yourself from why it's happening, like even going to the island at all, then it's it looks like a really cool image, a really cool dinosaur fights. You can see what's going on majority of the time, I'd say.
It was graphic.
Yeah.
A lot of the whole thing was graphic.
I was thinking that this was much more of a horror style film than the first one was. Like I said, the first one was family themed. I believe the third one was much more horror themed as well.
Gotcha.
The first one also had some horror elements in it as well.
Yeah.
But this one had like jump scares, like
this one.
Yeah, like the little girl would like jump around the corner, and like the sound would go.
I had a lot of screaming.
Yeah, and
like high pitched, and like at random times, I felt like.
Oh yeah, well, we can go through who the hell was bringing the majority of that bullshit. Just like had that guy screaming nonstop. I think his name was Justice Smith. He was one of the guys that were working with Bryce Dallas Howard. So J.A. Bayona is the director of this, and he is also a horror director. And so I was noticing it as it was happening, just some of the scarier themes. It was, much more dark. It was darker than this I thought was a lot darker than the first one.
There was a lot of killing.
Yeah, I thought the killing and the way it happened majority of the time was kind of brutal. Like, it was like a lot of like face and stabbing and like face. I remember there like being like dinosaurs like scratching their faces and stuff like that, and people getting impaled and ripped apart. And I mean, it's graphic. Mm-hmm. So yeah. Anything else that we can talk about from a spoiler-free perspective? Would you?
No, I'm ready for the spoiler section.
Yeah, I know. She's over here about to explode on the spoiler section. Bad guys in this, I thought, weren't the worst I've seen. And they had some decent exposition about why they were doing the things they were doing.
Yeah. Now I felt like explained their reasoning.
Okay. Yeah. The bad guys probably had better reasoning.
I'm doing this for financial purposes.
Yeah. And
no one else had a reason why they were doing the shit they were doing.
Right. There was no reason for Bryce Dallas Howard to be putting her life in jeopardy, and this guy to be screaming, "Why am I on this island? Why am I on this island?" It's like, dude, you know why you're on this island. Did
we ever figure out why she chose the two people that she took?
That was her team, I guess. I don't know. Because one was Asian and the other one was African American. It's like they were the cliche.
Had to be real diverse.
The cliche people of color sidekicks. But I didn't hate them.
No, I didn't. Well, yeah, they both bothered me. I didn't hate them, but
they weren't. No, they weren't written great, but they weren't the worst thing in the film.
Yeah.
I
just didn't feel that the first one was just so. That I didn't feel like during the first one while I was watching it, I didn't feel like every little scenario or thing that happened or what someone said, I didn't feel like all of it was as cliche as this one was. I don't know if cliche is the right word, actually.
What do you mean?
Like, I don't know how to explain it without spoiling it. Just a moment that you would expect to happen only because it would be written like that in a fucking movie.
Predictable?
Yeah.
I didn't think this was too predictable to be honest. Did you think it was predictable? I mean, I would say I never thought that, a certain character was ever going to die. Like, certain characters were ever going to die. I never felt like they were ever in imminent danger in the way they were acting in certain scenarios. I would be freaking the fuck out, and they were very calm in many of it.
Yeah.
Many times. And they were so casual about getting so close to these dinosaurs that could have just scooped them up and eaten them real quick, Yeah. There's a scene, a character, straddles another dinosaur.
Yeah.
And like, what the fuck? Like, that's in casually, ride it like a bull. Like,
yeah.
What? don't play me.
It's not.
It's some bullshit. It's some bullshit.
Bulls don't eat humans.
Yeah, I guess you never know. But yeah, so, yeah, I thought the only thing that was probably the weakest part about the movie was the pacing and the editing.
Yeah.
It was, it was really just way too fucking long.
It was.
I was like,
I think by the last 30 minutes, I was like sitting up with my elbows on my knees.
Oh, we both were like holding each other
hands
up,
on my chin.
Like
fuck?
Yeah, we were like, oh my gosh,
I'm tired.
And I like even during action scenes, I was like, yeah, but that was mostly during the third act. I thought
high-pitched squealing woke you up though.
Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, this guy will not let me go to sleep. Yeah, but I don't want to say I was like necessarily bored, but it just felt like it could. I was just ready for it to happen, because there was some really cool action scenes. There was a lot of cool stuff.
There was with the dinosaurs.
Yeah, every time there was dinosaurs going on, I was like, hell yeah! But then, when they would leave, I was like,
yeah. When it came time for the humans to just be a part of the scene.
Yeah, when humans were just talking to each other, I was like, trying to keep myself awake. I was like, fuck. Yeah, I honestly would still recommend it. I think I definitely like this movie more than the first one, and I think that's probably differing from you.
Yeah. No, I like the first one better. I could still sit and watch the first one like over and over again. Probably won't even buy this when it comes out.
Oh.
Unless the kids ask for it.
Wow. I was a little bit disappointed because did see the trailer for this. There was so many scenes in the trailers that were just cut into the movie, like one specific one, dinosaur and the lion.
Yeah,
it's like that doesn't have anything to do.
Are we spoiling?
This is in the marketing, so I don't really consider it spoilers.
Okay.
I mean it sort of could be, but there's things in the marketing that really do look like they were just put into the marketing, that they were like, oh fuck, we got to put it in the film,
Yeah.
But like everyone has seen in the marketing the ball rolling scene when they're in the ball and the dinosaurs and everyone's running. That's a fucking crazy scene.
That is crazy.
And there's cool ass shit going on around,
Yeah.
So I would say there's a lot of good things about it too. I just have more good things to say about this one, I think, than the first one. And because they're going in a different direction than going into a stupid park again, even though they are going into a stupid park again, but for different reasons, not touristy reasons.
Yeah.
I respect that a little bit.
They're not going in as tourists.
Yeah.
They're going in as like...
They're not going in trying to monetize it, really.
Crime busters this time. That's what they are.
Yeah. So yeah, let's hop into the spoiler section.
Okay.
We are in the spoiler section. Anyone that has followed us, you will be spoiled on Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. That's a stupid ass name, first of all. That's a dumb ass shit.
Fallen Kingdom.
Just shit.
It wasn't a kingdom. It was a fucking park.
Jeff Goldblum's not in this, like, hardly, but maybe one scene stretched out into two different ones. Giving some high exposition of why this movie's stupid.
I feel like what he said at the end would have been good for the beginning. And then what he said at the beginning would have been good for the end. Like, at the beginning, kind of like, they should have swapped that. That way, at the beginning, he could have been like, we're going to have to learn how to live among dinosaurs. Welcome to Jurassic World. Cool. And then start the fucking movie, and then at the end, him be like, but it's really not a good fucking idea. We should let them die.
Yeah, I guess, right?
I feel like that would have been better. I don't know why. Oh my gosh. I thought it would have been crazy if just like a dinosaur would have just like came in and like speared through. They could have done that. They should have.
Through the courthouse.
One thing I was thinking about, the what are they called? The ones that fly?
Pterodactyls?
Pterodactyls?
I don't know.
They can fly.
That might be a Pokemon.
So how come they haven't already flown from that island, the fucked up island?
I know. They talk about that in the first Jurassic Park.
About how if they get out, they can fly.
I mean, there's flying. I'm pretty sure that in the first Jurassic Park, they show they're looking out the helicopter and there's like pterodactyls beside them. Like, they're gonna go eat people.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, so like, one thing I do like about this movie, like the world building, I said, they talk about like having to do payouts.
Oh, to pay the people who were injured.
Yes, that were injured. They never talk about that, I don't think, in hardly any movie about when, real people are injured.
Yeah.
And just one line that helps so much. I really appreciate the
But did it help throughout the movie, like, understand anything though? Or it was just there?
It just helps me understand that people aren't, like, loads of people aren't getting hurt, and then, like, they're, like, somehow still not getting anything in return, like when superheroes are getting thrown through buildings and people are getting collateral damage is happening to them. Someone needs to be blamed, and that company is the one being blamed in this scenario.
Gotcha.
So I really appreciated that. Let me think. Tell me some not so hot things about the movie that you didn't like too much. You can compare it to the first one as well. Oh, Bryce Dallas Howard.
In the first one, she just seemed very, I guess, put together.
She seemed like a kind of corporate,
yeah,
business.
And this one,
woman.
She seemed like not ditzy at all, but
she reminded me of like a college student who was like for a organization.
Yeah.
And not like a corporate.
I don't know. I can't.
She didn't hold herself like a corporate entity like she did in the first one. This one felt like she was more regular based, white, blue collar.
Yeah. Because I'm trying to think. So the guy, what was his name? The old guy with the stick with the little thing on it.
Okay, yeah.
What was his name?
I'm gonna get it. It was Benjamin Lockwood.
Okay, so he was who? Who was he to her?
I believe he was working with the original guy that was in the Jurassic Park.
That made
Jurassic Park, because that thing, that cane he had, had the mosquito from the first Jurassic Park, and that's the mosquito is how they used the DNA that was stuck in sap.
Gotcha.
And the DNA is how they created the dinosaurs.
The DNA from a mosquito?
Yeah, mosquito, billion years ago, got blood out of a dinosaur, got stuck in sap.
Gotcha.
They take the sap,
I don't know
make
how
the dinosaur.
I missed that.
No, that's in the Jurassic Park movie.
I know.
First one.
Well, it's been a long time since I've seen it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know how she was able to get to the island, save the dinosaurs that she did save. She piggybacked a fucking T-Rex and stuck a needle in it, got blood out of it, but she couldn't save that old guy from being killed. Like, she did, once she understood that guy had lied to her, why did she not think to go back and make sure that he didn't do anything to that guy, the old guy? While she's running around with Chris Pratt.
I felt like the old guy was completely overlooked.
Yeah.
I mean, what's his name? Lockwood.
Yeah.
And I'm still not 100% sure. Did Lockwood create that little girl?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what the guy was saying. He was like, because, okay, the only thing I can put together.
Together?
Shut up. The little girl asked him when she was standing in his room, she was like, do I look like my mother? And because I remember I asked you like 50 million questions during this movie.
Yeah.
I don't think you answered any of them.
Yeah, well, I was like...
Because I'd be sitting there and I'd be like...
Why the fuck?
What is this? What is this? Why is this happening? And start watching again, never get an answer. Come back 20 minutes later, say something, start watching again. But she was like, do I look like my mother? And he was like, did he say yeah? And I was like, hold on. He doesn't let this little girl look at pictures of her mom?
Yeah, there was a very...
He's holding a book. He's holding a picture book. Like a photo album.
Yeah, a journal or something.
And it looked like a photo album.
Yeah.
And finally, when she gets that thing, she takes a picture out, and it's of the lady who I thought was like the maid.
Yeah.
Or the caretaker.
Yeah. Who we
and
thought.
her.
Yeah.
And I was fucking confused. Because I was like, oh, that's her mom.
I thought it was as well.
But then that guy was like, you don't know what she is, do you? He never had a granddaughter. He wanted his daughter back. So he recreated her.
Yeah.
So that's what he did.
So weird.
She's a little clone.
Yeah. I wonder if she grows.
No.
She doesn't grow?
Oh, I don't know. Shit, I don't know.
I guess the dinosaurs grow, so I guess she does too. Okay, so that was so overlooked, by the way.
Yeah.
The character played by the corporate guy, I keep calling him corporate guy. What's his name? Eli Mills.
Eli.
That was such a one-line, like, Pandora's box of, what the fuck did you just say? Yeah. Like, you don't just say that person's been DNA replicated, like...
Like, not only are we doing it to dinosaurs...
We're doing it
to make money. We're doing it to humans.
Right. I'm like, that's not something you just casually say in the third act and then never address again.
The little girl did kind of bring it up again.
When?
When she hit the button and let them out.
She
was like...
what
did she say?
They're alive like me.
Yeah. That was a stupid fucking thing.
Yeah.
I'm like...
oh my god. Yeah.
They're animals who kill people.
I was like, you're about to set, like, upon, like, the world... the next, like...
I don't know how that was, like, even a hard...
decision?
Yeah.
Yeah, you kill those things, right? Or just leave them on the island. Or...
Now, once you're
no.
They've all...
They weren't on an island by then. They were in,
They weren't on an island.
They were in the mansion.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
Like, underground, under the mansion.
You leave them in the mansion.
They didn't want to because the little fucking gas thing, the little gas leak would have killed them all.
Oh my god!
And it's like, so do we let them die? Should we let them die?
Done.
By suffocation or whatever the fuck it would have been, or do we just set them free among humans?
Oh, and let them eat tons of people.
We don't want them to die.
Yeah,
I would have been like, kill them fuckers. I'd have been shooting.
Oh my gosh.
I would have been grabbed a fucking dart gun and been like, if you don't fucking like it, you can go too, bitch.
Oh my gosh.
It ain't nothing but a thing. I will kill all of y'all.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not getting eaten by a dinosaur.
Not today. Not up in here, Jenny. Oh my gosh. But yeah. I thought the reasoning for doing things was kind of ridiculous. The little girl subplot was very, very odd.
It was. The fact that she was like creeping around the house for one was just strange. Just made her seem weird as fuck.
Yeah, and just bleh.
I know. Like when Claire
like
went.
Punch her in the...
when
Freaking neck.
Claire went there for the first time to like visit that guy and like figure out what was going on or whatever, what he needed her to do, and the little girl like walks. The little girl's like walking up on that little thing,
Right, the little balcony. Yeah.
And then
Creeping.
and then as soon as Claire turned around, she runs off, and it's
Yeah.
like, what? Why are you running? Like, are you okay? Like, what's wrong?
Yeah, what is wrong with this little girl?
Do you have a problem?
Yeah.
I thought that was just another stupid
It was
moment.
yeah. There was a lot of stupid stuff going on in this movie.
Yeah.
A lot of like turning around slowly when clearly there's something behind you.
Or like a really long mouth drop.
Yeah, like, oh my god.
Like a good like 1 full minute of like someone's mouth hanging open from like whatever that's the reaction, and it's like, okay.
Justice Will, that one guy. The guy screaming. The
Yeah.
screamer. They had that boy screaming way too much.
I feel like it was like that with Claire too, though. I feel like her facial expression never changed.
Bryce Dallas Howard?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
She was constantly just had this look of like, oh my god.
Yeah, she looks just stale in this or something. I don't know. Something. We need
Her
somebody.
acting was stale.
You know, I wish we had the Tomb Raider chick in this instead.
I don't know who that is.
It was the girl that played. She's an Ex Machina, but I don't think you've seen that. But she just played in the most recent Tomb Raider, and I think she could have carried this a lot better.
Really?
Yeah. She's just more action oriented.
Yeah.
And Bryce Dallas Howard just has strengths in other
Very
areas.
stiff.
I'd say strengths in other areas, but yeah.
Yeah.
This is not her forte.
She played the like corporal, you know.
Yeah, she played corporate really well.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Corporal. She played
sorry.
corporate really good in
did.
the first film, and I think this, whatever they're having her do in this, is just not working as well.
No.
And it's not her fault.
What was the beach scene where she throws the
Oh my god. This is...
He lied!
He's alive. You lied. You bastard. Yeah. It just sounded like she was half... Sometimes it felt like they took the
when
first
their
take.
backs were turned.
They took the first take in some point.
Yeah. When their backs were turned, it didn't
Like
their
the-
body gestures didn't seem like they were actually talking. It seemed like they had like voiceovers.
They probably did have a voiceover, and they might have even been saying something else. They're like, this doesn't make sense. Get him saying something else.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else that we need to cover? I didn't hate Chris Pratt. I think I said that in the spoiler-free section, but I really didn't hate him in this. I thought that he was written well, and he acted like like other podcasts have said. I think this is him testing out a role as Indiana Jones in the near future.
Yeah.
Like, this just feels so much like a Indiana Jones action type movie. Just replace the dinosaurs with artifacts or something like that, you know.
Big ass boulders.
Yeah, you know, big ass boulders and whips and whatever he's always using. But yeah, I think this is what he's doing.
Yeah.
And you can't blame him for it. I mean, I think he does a pretty decent job. There's one scene, you know, when he's like been knocked out by a tranquilizer, by a dinosaur tranquilizer, and somehow he's up within like a few hours.
The girl got it out of him, and all of it didn't go in him.
Still, dinosaur tranquilizers probably could take down an elephant.
Yeah.
I mean, they should be able to take down an elephant if they're dinosaur tranquilizers.
because for one, it's not made just to paralyze them. It's made to like completely
Yeah.
Not deteriorate, but you know,
Make them immobile.
weaken all of the.
Yeah, he was
shit.
he was up and
'Cause
out.
Dinosaurs are not like elephants,
Yeah.
or even like because everyone's always like, oh, a horse tranquilizer is really, really heavy or
Yeah.
really potent, and it's like horses are calm.
Are they?
The majority of the time? Like horses. Why do y'all need so much tranquilizer for a horse?
Oh, it's a big motherfucker.
So yeah, I get what you're saying. Because a dinosaur,
Yeah, and he was up in an hour.
you like
Yeah.
make a tree branch moves and they're fucking killing everything.
Yeah.
Like if it's a quiet room and all of a sudden it's like, ding, and then they fucking just start killing shit. So yeah, they do definitely need like heavy fucking tranquilizers.
And okay, so there's another scene when the Bryce Dallas Howard, Claire's sidekick, well, not sidekick, but one of her
The
corporate.
doctor?
Was she the doc? She was the doctor. Okay, so she was like, these are so and so type 2 tranquilizers, and she goes up to the corporate and like pulls it out of his jacket. Why the fuck does he
know
not
that?
already know that? They're like 2 inches from his fucking neck.
He's
He's just like, "Bleh, what the fuck is it? I'm just gonna wear these like the whole time. And they were so fucking close. I was like, this is so.
He probably
this was
does
the-
know that. He's just playing that character where he doesn't give a shit. He's
Oh,
the bad guy.
Yeah, I know he's the bad guy, but it's just, and that's Buffalo Bob from Hannibal, the Silence of the Lambs movie.
Damn, they have a lot of Hannibal characters. Oh, no, that was Westworld, you said.
Yeah.
Was another. Never mind.
Yeah.
We can't cut it off right here just because Pizza's here.
Yeah.
We can't. We have a lot of shit to talk about.
We have covered a lot of it. Like I thought that.
I like Blue. Blue's obviously like my favorite dinosaur because I feel like she's such a badass. But
I'm so tired of Blue. Honestly,
Really?
I was ready for the.
I'm not.
I just like the T-Rex with the tiny arms. Oh my
Sitting in
gosh.
that cage like, get the fuck off
Yeah,
me!
I just want to.
Sitting on its back.
Yeah, that thing could have just like lifted its neck and like crushed her right then and there in between the box.
No. She's like, I can slip through the bars.
Oh yeah, fucking so stupid, so stupid.
What?
Oh my gosh, it was so stupid. We need to go get blood from the T-Rex, the big one, the big motherfucker.
She can only have blood from similar animals, meaning it can only have 3 claws.
Yeah,
There's only one other one in this whole boat.
it's so stupid.
What?
Did you notice?
There's
when...
little mini ones running around.
Yeah. Get a couple of those mini ones and shove it up there or something like that. I don't know. But did you notice when they did the clearing into the ship, when she drove into the ship, off the island?
Yeah.
That they all just hopped out of the car, and were like looking at that dinosaur that was burning or whatever, the big tall one. They were
still in the truck.
I swear.
Chris Pratt, that kid, and her were still in the truck. They had just turned around.
Okay, so how did nobody see them? There was tons of people all there.
They didn't want that dinosaur. They didn't need that one. They already had one.
I'm saying that everyone knows that the army guys know they betrayed the scientists, and
No, they don't.
I
don't think anyone knows that they're there.
I would assume so, because I just assumed they all knew.
Oh, they according to the movie,
No.
when they did that, it was just like everyone was just like, "Oh, this must just be a truck that just got left behind. They made it though. Good. Let's
What?
I don't know.
It was like it was.
That's what it
no.
seemed like
I
to
think
me.
I think I distinctly remember Claire stepping out of the truck with the hat on,
Yeah,
and
she did.
someone would notice that. Someone noticed that she is not an army general or something like that has been trained to. It's like, let me see. There's like 300 dudes on this boat and one redhead.
Because remember they didn't.
I don't know what the hell you're saying with your mouth.
Sorry,
No. You're fine. You're fine. Go ahead.
They didn't recognize the kid. Remember, the
Yeah.
kid jumped out, and they're like, "Hey, kid!"
It was stupid. How would they not recognize him?
They didn't know who those people were.
I didn't understand. They
The
seemed to
army
have
people only knew why they were there. They didn't know who.
Yeah,
else
but
was
they
there.
were not. They were clearly not dressed in the right attire, nor acting like it. And he was like 10 years. Both
It was
of
the
the
doctor. But
what? And I just think that the people were just like way too
doctor
cavalier
wasn't dressed
about
either.
having these random scientists.
the
with
doctor wasn't dressed to impress either. But she was in there doing what she was supposed to do to that dinosaur.
them. I'm saying they all stuck out like sore thumbs.
They did.
And it was impossible not to have the corporate already on his ass as soon as they had jumped the thing into the boat. I thought everyone was going to be surrounding the boat. I mean
the truck.
the truck, yeah. And I was like, all right, well, that fucked up.
Yeah.
But you done fucked up there, Jane. Yeah. I just thought that There was a lot of good things and a lot of dumb things.
Yeah.
But nothing that pissed me off. Like the first one. I thought that some of the things that Chris Pratt said in the first one were a little sexist.
There was a moment that pissed me off, but it was because someone was being stupid.
Yeah, was it Justice? Was it
the kid was aggravating the whole time?
I didn't think these kids were nearly as bad as the first kids in the first movie. I thought those kids in the first movie, I wanted to wring their neck. I was like, these guys are so annoying. I was like, I couldn't wait for a dinosaur to just gobble them up.
Because there were two kids who were tourists. Like, they were there to see
I know.
park.
They're like, ooh,
They didn't.
Yeah,
Exactly.
That's
all they needed to do.
I was like, God, these kids are so boring.
They weren't there to do anything else. That little girl, however, has been raised around all these little fake dinosaurs in her house. No reason why she should be scared.
I thought she was 10 times better than both those kids. At least more interesting in almost every other way. Those kids were like way fucking annoying.
Yeah. I don't know.
Or the little boy was, at least to me. You might have to rewatch it.
I loved the first movie. Compared to this one, I loved the first one.
Loved the first, liked the second.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Second one was okay.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, I did, like I said.
No, the action was better. I thought
the action was,
I thought it stuck out more.
Yeah, I thought it was different.
I feel like in the first one there was more like terrorizing, kind of like a terrorizing the town kind of thing.
Okay, yeah,
like tearing up the park.
Tearing up, yeah, it's a lot of tearing up the park.
So I didn't feel that. Obviously, they're not on the park in this one, but
I felt like the first one.
It was more action.
I felt like the first one they were like always making a big spectacle about one person getting killed, or something like that. They would dinosaurs would terrorize 100 people, but then one person would get killed.
Yeah.
This one, like, I think, like, a lot, like, racked up a big body count.
Yeah.
And it's gonna rack up a bigger one after it.
There's gonna be a lot of people dying.
Oh my gosh, it's so ridiculous. All on that girl's watch.
Yeah.
Such a dumb shit thing to do.
Is there gonna be another one?
I guarantee you there will. The first movie made $1 billion, and it's like the number 5th highest grossing movie ever.
Yeah.
So that's why this one came, and so this one's gonna make a lot of money, but not as much as the first one, I believe.
Gotcha.
The first one did really well because World did really well because of the fact that we had such brand new technology, and people want to see monsters, of dinosaurs fight. And
I've never understood that whole premise.
Like just big scale.
People
I think
attracted to like big scary monsters.
I think it's scale.
I don't want to go to one of those things.
Well, I mean, like the Meg that's coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I want to see that strictly because we never get to see giant sharks on television, I guess,
Yeah.
I mean, we do, like, for Shark Week or something like that, but we don't see them made generally that often. And so I think, I don't know, something about the scale of these big creatures and big monsters. And
my thing is they're going to kill people, so...
Well, yeah, that's why we go. I mean, it's kind of like a thrill ride, Like, the thing with dinosaurs is that it feels safe, I think, but it also...
don't feel safe. Why would you feel safe with dinosaurs?
I'm talking about what the reason people are more fascinated with like Jurassic Park than like maybe a real monster movie is because these are actual creatures. They're based off of actual creatures that lived on our land, and it's us coming in contact with former life.
Gotcha.
And I think that is something that has a little bit more merit than like.
Okay, yeah, I get that.
Yeah,
I get that. I just know that like for any reason, ever.
If that ever were to happen.
If it happened in my lifetime,
yeah,
I'd be like, fuck all y'all.
Yeah,
I ain't going.
Done.
We're not going.
No.
If y'all go, I'm not going.
I seen it happen.
Yeah.
5 movies.
It's like y'all trying to get me on a boat after watching Titanic.
Oh my gosh, no. Yeah.
No. I know what boats do.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. You unsinkable ship my ass. Yeah. Oh my goodness. So, is there anything else that we need to add? I know that
Blue was fucking awesome, and she kicked that guy's ass.
Yeah. So there's some for many things that they do, differently, they also do a lot of the same stuff again.
Yeah.
They always do the freaking two dinosaurs are fighting each other. Like, oh, who's gonna win? Who's gonna win? And then all of a sudden, a giant foot comes out of nowhere, crushes one of their necks, and then it eats the other one. It's like it always happens. It always happens. Corporate bad guy villains seems to be pretty standard in these.
They're always gonna die.
It's never. I don't know. I always feel like I know it's gonna happen, but I did want to see this guy get his comeuppance really bad. The army guy.
Mills?
Army guy. Well, Mills, yes.
The army guy that was stealing all their teeth?
Yeah. I wanted to see.
No, fuck him. He was ripping their teeth out.
That's what I said. I wanted to see him get his comeuppance.
Oh.
Like, I wanted to see something bad happen to him, and we pretty much did. I mean, the bad guys got really fucked up.
Stupid.
Got really fucked. Yeah, that guy.
The way he died, though, like they could have had him do something a little bit more like.
He was so stupid. He's like, I need these teeth for later. Make my necklace. It's like, what the fuck? What the fuck? You have a dinosaur and you're making a shark's tooth style necklace or something. I don't know, like dinosaur.
Like a shell necklace.
Yeah, like a shell necklace. What the fuck? It's so stupid. Yeah, I don't know. I really hope we get a better script writer. And I was thinking that actually when I was watching it, I wish that we had a comedy writer.
Yeah, you said
I think that Jurassic World that had some self-awareness to it would do really well, like almost like a Lord and Miller style 21 Jump Street like writing to it. How
when someone's like, we gotta get there and save these animals, so someone can be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, we need somebody to say like, fuck no.
Yeah.
We need somebody to lay the law and really say some things that would be said. Like this is kind of being held back by being just by being a PG-13 movie. Mm-hmm. Like there was why is it a PG-13 movie, but yet when
there was a
Claire
cum joke.
Yeah, wait, there's a cum joke, and then there's Bryce Dallas Howard saying, "What the," like something explodes.
Yeah.
Or like, I think she was gonna say shit, and they cut off that. I was like, this is a PG-13 movie. You can say that. There was way worse things that are said. Yeah. I don't know. It's so ridiculous that they have to. You can see somebody literally getting cut apart, stabbed,
Saw one guy's arm get torn
off, like, but you can't say shit or fuck or damn. Like, what the hell are we living in right now? What kind of timeline is this? I don't know. But it's just stupid. That's stupid. They need to fix that. Mm-hmm. So, all right. I appreciate everyone listening. All around the world, Lucky Dog Podcast. Check us out on Twitter, Lucky Dog Podcast. Email us at TheLuckyDogPodcast if you want to be featured on the podcast. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, we are on YouTube, SoundCloud, and all the good popular podcast apps. Anything else? Would you recommend it? I mean, we already spoiled the tits out of it, so I mean,
wait until it comes out.
You said loved it, not. You
liked
said
it,
liked it,
not
loved it.
I wouldn't tell anyone to go watch it.
Oh, really? Shit. Damn. God dang. I think
not in theaters.
I think I would.
Really?
I think so because
wait until it's in the red box, man.
I think it's definitely probably more on the rental matinee side. It's not like a full price. Holy shit, you got to see this.
Yeah.
But there was enough imagery and enough juice, enough new information and enough new plot and world building that really grasped me in a different way than the first one did.
Yeah.
The first one, I don't think I would have recommended like that because it was exciting seeing all the new, technology making these dinosaurs. But this one, I felt like steered in a new direction and had some really cool imagery, and it also was a little scary. I could definitely tell that there was a little bit more horror imagery in this than the first one.
Yeah.
And so,
I
I think
the first one was better.
I think that it needs to have a little sprinkle of a little bit of comedy, a self-awareness.
Yeah.
So, thank you everyone, and thank you.
Genetic power
Oh,
has now been unleashed.
back, please.
You can't put it back in the box.
If I don't make it back, remember you're the one who made me come here. I'll be all right. These creatures were here before us. And if we're not careful, they're gonna be here after. Welcome to Jurassic World.